Today, we're taking a deep dive into Pineal 10X. This supplement is making some huge promises, and our job is to cut right through all that marketing noise and figure out if it's actually worth your time and money.
So, let's just get right to the point, shall we? Does Pineal 10X actually live up to all the hype? That's the big question. And to answer it, we've dug through everything, the claims, what real users are saying, and all that tricky fine print to give you a straight-up, fact-based answer.
Okay, so first things first, let's break down what this stuff even promises to do. What are the official claims?
And wow, the list of claims is pretty long. The main idea, the core promise, is that it supports your pineal gland. But from there, they say the benefits just branch out. We're talking sustained energy, better focus, improved sleep, and even something they call amplified intuition. Basically, they're pitching it as this all-in-one wellness powerhouse.
All right, so who is this actually for? I mean, who are they trying to sell this to? Turns out, the marketing is aimed at a very specific type of person. You know, it seems like they're really targeting people who are already on a self-improvement journey. Think about it. Folks looking for clean, natural energy, people committed to holistic health, or even those trying to get into deeper meditation. One thing's for sure, they are not marketing this as some kind of quick fix.
Okay, so that's the official story, the marketing spiel. But what really matters is what people who've actually taken it have to say, right? Let's dive into the real-world user experience and see if these claims actually hold up.
Check this out. Here's a direct quote from one of our sources. The user said they experienced a tangible increase in sustained mental clarity and could concentrate better for longer periods. Now that lines up perfectly with what the product promises. Not just some fuzzy feeling, but a real, noticeable boost in brain power.
But, and this is a really big but, here comes the reality check. That same person makes it super clear that this is not an overnight miracle. They call it a gradual process of subtle enhancement. So what's the big takeaway here? You've got to be patient. Managing your expectations is absolutely essential with this.
All right, now we're getting to what I think is the most critical part of this whole analysis. Because when we started digging into the details, we found some major red flags. Looking at different sources side by side reveals some really serious contradictions. Okay, look at this. This is probably the biggest issue we uncovered. On the screen are two different ingredient lists for Pineal 10X, both from what seem to be detailed, credible reviews. And they're almost completely different. I mean, besides iodine, they barely match up at all. This is a huge problem. It's a massive discrepancy that basically makes it impossible to know for sure what you're actually putting in your body.
And the confusion doesn't stop there. It gets even stranger with the money-back guarantee. One source confidently says you get a full 365 days, a whole year. But another source, which seems just as legit, says it's only 60 days. That's a 10-month difference. For anyone thinking about buying this, that's a pretty critical piece of information to be so unclear about.
All of this confusion really leads to one crucial piece of advice we saw in the sources. You have to purchase from the official website, no exceptions. If you buy it from somewhere else, you're running a serious risk of getting a fake product, and you can pretty much forget about that money-back guarantee. It's important to note that the link to the official, secure website for Pineal 10X is down in the video description.
So let's say you decide to go for it, and you make sure to get the real deal from the official site. How do you actually get the best results? Well, the sources are crystal clear on this. This is not a magic pill. You can't just take it and expect your life to change. It's going to require some consistency and maybe even a few lifestyle tweaks. In fact, one source lays out 5 specific tips to really make it work for you. And honestly, the themes are probably what you'd expect. You've got daily consistency, taking it at the same time every day. Staying hydrated is a big one. They also say to limit other stimulants like caffeine, and they recommend pairing it with mindfulness practices like meditation. But the biggest one, again, patience. They say you really need to give it at least 2 to 3 months of consistent use.
Okay, so after digging through all of that, the big promises, the mixed user reports, and those really serious contradictions, what's the final verdict? Where do we land on this? Let's pull it all together so you can make a smart decision for yourself.
So here's the bottom line. Who should actually consider buying Pineal 10X? Well, it might be a fit for you if you're truly committed to a long-term holistic health plan. And, this is the big one, if you're okay with the massive inconsistencies we found. Now, who should stay away? It is definitely not for you if you're expecting instant results or if you aren't willing to be patient and stick with it for a few months. In the end, it all comes down to your personal goals and, frankly, your tolerance for these big informational red flags. Thanks for watching this review. If this video helped you make a decision, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next analysis. See you in the next one.